You are now tuned into the sounds of
Big Nate Sports Talk.
It's on all the time, anytime.
Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like, oh yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out of my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you.
Tuned in to Big Nate Sports Talk, the show that is on all the time, anytime. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the next big thing, the latest up-and-coming sports journalist, your host, Nathan Snell.
Anthony Handy for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Taco Tuesday. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe. This is season 16, episode 15 of Big Nate Sports Talk podcast. In this episode, it is the final week of the WNBA. Before we get into the video, there's a few things I want to say up front. This episode will be recorded. Couple things that are coming down the pipe of the channel. NFL season is upon us. Ravens, Commanders. I'm hoping to get a preview for their season openers against the Cardinals, Washington, respectively, and the Houston Texans versus Baltimore, respectfully. If you do not, you will get recaps in those games. We will be continuing our WNBA playoff coverage. I'm hoping to have Brendan Potts on the show at some point. There's some things I'm trying to work out with him in terms of getting him back on the show for WNBA playoffs. College basketball is upon us. We're going into week 2 of college football. University of Maryland Terrapins play the University of Charlotte. You will see a double recap of that game as well. So stay tuned in for that. Probably when the playoffs end for the WNBA will most likely end season 16. We'll go into season 17, which is football, college basketball. But I just have not made that determination with my producers at this moment. As you may have seen some WNBA content where we got everything downloaded, so to upload it. So you're going to see it in spruces. So I do apologize for that. But I just appreciate the support I've been getting on the channel. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe. Much appreciated. Please, again, thank you for your patience. Let's just get right. Here are the week 15. Here are week 15, my rankings. Taking into a couple things into consideration. I apologize. I cannot talk today. Long day. As I'm recording this, this is week as a must for some teams to make the playoffs or not. The Sky, Mystics, I believe they have to clinch this week. That's probably against Phoenix, which is today. Atlanta Friday. I'll be at that game covering them at the ESA via Maryland Sports Blog. Then they have New York Sunday into the finale. Los Angeles, I think, has Connecticut, which is today, Tuesday. New York Thursday, and Seattle Sunday. And Chicago, I believe, plays Indiana Tuesday, Minnesota Friday, and then Connecticut Sunday. So let's just get into it. Number 12. At this point, it's obvious they're not going to make the playoffs. This would be the first playoffs. It's the first time they've missed the playoffs since 2020 12. The injuries have just been something that just go like, damn. BG, Diana Taurasi was not there for a majority of the season. You just got to just look at it respectfully and just say, hey, just cut your losses and get ready for next year. It's going to be a different team. Personally, I think there's some things that need to change about Phoenix. I know Diana Taurasi's already will most likely commit to her the last year in her contract. For all intended purposes, I still think Skylar Diggins-Smith will move on from them. I have a feeling Brittany Griner will re-sign with the team. But there's a thing, some culture that has to change. Up until this point, they've lost, eight in a row. That's their second longest losing streak as one can remember. And we play them later today. And I predict we're going to win that game. There's just really not much I can say about Phoenix at this point. Seattle. I think, once the season ends, the way Joe Lloyd has been progressing, she'll be the scoring champion for this year. She will be, I think, as close to almost reaching 900 points in a season. She just needs 48, I think, to surpass Diana Taurasi's record. And I can see that easily. The same thing. They have nothing to play for, honestly. I actually think they can actually re-sign her before the season ends. I believe they got to do it before the game starts. If I remember that correctly, they can re-sign them up until, I believe, before the season ends. So she's not going anywhere. I see her staying. I don't know where this notion of she's departing, because where is she going to play? I make the same argument to a couple other players. They have Atlanta Wednesday, Dallas Friday, and Los Angeles Sunday. Other than that, there's really not much for them to play for, other than position in the lottery. And we'll get to that at a later point as the offseason and mock drafts progress. Number 10, in my opinion, I think it's the Chicago Sky. They have a chance to make the playoffs. I'm still really not feeling what this team looks like. If they make the playoffs, it is by the thinnest, and I mean thinnest, because if they do miss the playoffs, they will not have a 2024 first-round pick, because James Wade, in his brilliant mind, sacrificed all that draft capital. They play, I believe, Indy today, Minnesota Friday, and Connecticut Sunday. I think they'll make the playoffs. But other than that, I think Kalia is also up. She can also re-sign as well. Even though I think there's some fundamental pieces that Chicago should retain, there's nothing wrong with signing her. I just think that if you want to build a foundation, some of those other foundation pieces, Elizabeth Williams, Izzy Harris, Dana Evans, who's in the conference for Woman of the Year. We got to think about those options as well. But I believe she can resign up until the end of the season, before the season's over, to resign her contract. So I already assume that. Number 9, Indiana. I still think this team will win 13 games. It's looking like 12 and 13. It's going to look like 13 wins, in my personal opinion. And that, to me, is an improvement. It's a start. They beat the Dallas. They beat the Dallas Wings. Some milestones. Victoria Vivians and Christy Mitchell had milestones in their careers. I believe Victoria has 1,000 career. I want to say it's rebounds. No, or is it points? It's something. I know she hit a milestone. So did Kelsey Mitchell. I think it's like 3,000 points for Kelsey, something like that. I think I think if they get to 13 wins, it's a start. Like I said, they got a bright future. If you look at it, they've won more games than they did last year, 2022 and 2020. 2022 and 2021 combined. So they have a foundation there for sure. I still don't think Kelsey Mitchell will be traded. I don't know where you would trade her and what are you expecting in return for her. That's just my personal opinion. As we progress into number 8 of my rankings, the Los Angeles Sparks, I still think just like the Washington Mystics, they have just dealt with injuries and illnesses throughout the season, and it shows. They play Connecticut, which is today, and New York Thursday, and Seattle Sunday. It's been tough. Sunday when we faced them, we were supposed to. They played at the Gallon Center at University of Southern California because there was an issue, something, and there was a scheduling conflict, if I'm remembering that correctly, with playing at the Crypto. Oh, excuse me, the Staples Center. I'm not calling it the Crypto. But I mean, hey, they've still been playing well. Jordan Canada is a 6th Woman of the Year candidate, in my opinion. They've just one neck is with just the injuries, especially when she's not out there, they have the work cut out for them. Ray Burrell has been a big stepping up. Jasmine Thomas, Avina Westbrook, there's some others, Lachey Clarendon. They all have been playing well, and Azrae Stevens has picked it up as well. So even though it has just been a tough season for them, I like their fight and determination. I'm hoping that they get the final 8th seed, crossing fingers. But it would not hurt to just get in position for that last draft, a lottery pick. Painfully, let's just talk about it. Number 7, I'm sorry, the Washington Mystics. It has been probably one of the most toughest seasons. One, as a aspiring journalist writing for them, and also from a fan perspective. Christy Tolliver suffered a torn ACL, and she's out for the season. I knew it was bad when her knee buckled. She's only played 11 games this year. I really had thought, everything was clicking. And just I feel bad for her. And especially with all the criticism she's gotten about, she needs to retire, she needs to hang it up, all that other stuff. It's a criticism is just not, it wasn't needed. And then on top of that, Shakira Austin, she re-aggravated her hip, had a hip injury. Era Atkins had a nose fracture in this game. And who did she didn't? Against Las Vegas, both. Era didn't play, Shakira didn't play. Personally, I think Shakira's done for the rest of the year because I don't expect them to play Tuesday against Phoenix. Friday, I doubt it, and it's New York. So the last 3 games, Ariel is probable to play. I think she'll probably be ready to play by Friday. I don't see her playing in this game, in my personal opinion. But other than that, it's been hard, man. These injuries. The Sparks and the Mystics both. Lord, it's just been awful. It's just been awful to watch. Because I feel bad for them because this year, especially with the injuries, everybody get back to feeling good about themselves, and it's just one thing that's not needed. And then Queen Enegbo went down in that game, and it's like, oh my gosh! And luckily she's still on the court. But one thing I like about what the Mystics are doing is Tiana Hawkins, who I give consideration for 6th Woman of the Year, Maisha Hines-Allen, who typically around this part of the season who usually heats up, Lee Mung, they all are stepping up in their roles respectively. Troy Walker Kimbrell as well as usually stepping up in their roles respectively. So, man, it's been tough. So let's get to number 6 on the Atlanta Dream. I think for them, the reason why I have them here a little bit is because they've started to pick it up a little bit. They did lose 7 of the last 9 games, and they did lose to Phoenix. I mean, they beat Phoenix, but then lost Minnesota in overtime. Yes. I think the way they've been playing, I could see them actually getting above the seed against us, Washington. I could see that. I think they have a little bit more size and available bodies. I'm looking at their schedule. I believe they play Seattle Wednesday. They got us Friday and then Dallas. Those are winnable games, in my personal opinion. The Dallas win for sure. And like, even in the midst of Nia Coffee, they're still stepping up. And I mean, you can't say really much, but you gotta give Coach Wright and her coaching staff credit. I mean, the only thing I would say is that their shooting performance has just been weird. They shot under 40% in that loss to Minnesota. I believe they're like 0-11. It's something like that, 4th most in the league in terms of shooting percentage when you shoot above 40%. I saw that stat somewhere and I was like, damn. So, yeah, we'll see. Number 5. I may back up. Before we get to the number 5, let's get into the sponsor of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, Zagnif Apparel. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to dress like you're already famous? You can and you will with Zagnif Apparel.
The following is a presentation of Zagnif Productions, LLC. Introducing Zagnif Apparel. Our comfortable line of leisure wear and athletic wear will have you comfortable and stylish at any occasion. Whether you're at the gym, out shopping, or just relaxing at home. Whether you're an athlete or just want to lay around the house, we've got the perfect outfit for you. Stop by our website today and pick up your favorite pieces. Zagnif Apparel. Dress like you're already famous.
You can and you most certainly will with a nice 50% off of your final purchase using my discount code BIGNATE. Thank you for Zagnif Apparel for being a sponsor of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast, where you can and you will, ladies and gentlemen, dress like you're already famous. We'll be right back. And we're back, and with the top 5, starting at number 5, the Minnesota Lynx. Listen, from a team that started 0-5, 0-6, excuse me. They've surprised a lot of people. I still think that I would say personally, Sherman should be in the Coach of the Year conversation. Nafisa Collier should make an all WNBA team. In my personal opinion, she should make all first team. Diamond Miller should be in the Rookie of the Year conversation, as well as Dorka. Kayla McBride, I think, can also be up for an extension, if I'm saying that correctly, because she would be a free agent, if I'm saying that correctly. I mean, look, they just got to finish above 500. I mean, as of right now, they're 500. Chicago on Friday. Yeah, Chicago Friday, and then Indiana on Sunday. We did beat them Wednesday. They did be landing on overtime, and then they destroyed. They just beat Phoenix. So, hey, give them their flowers. Because where they're at right now, they're balling, and I think they can surprise any of these four teams. In my opinion, they could be a sleeper to get to the finals. In my personal opinion, but that brings me to my next team, number 4, the Dallas Wings. I have some questions about them in terms of. I still think there's some issues that I see with this team. I still would like to know who the leader of this Dallas Wings team is. Yes, we can say it's Arike Ngubawale, excuse me. I don't know why I said her last name first. I apologize. But there's a lot of things there. Yes, Satu had a career high 40 points this past week, which was great. But you did not take care of business at home, and you let Indiana beat you on your own court. You could have got the 4th seed. And I think what's going to hurt them is just what I see. It's immaturity and lack of accountability. Because I just don't think this guy, you got to keep your head in the game, body language, all these different things like that. That's going to come back to haunt you. This is my team that scares me the most come playoffs, in my personal opinion. I still think they can get to the championship. This team has potential. This is a championship team. It's all up here. And Coach Trammell can bench, it can let people know, but at the end of the day, they've got to want it. They got to be brought in on, hey, we're here to win a championship. I thought this was the same thing Vicki Johnson was trying to get them to do, brought by them in one. And it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But they do have New York Tuesday today, Seattle Friday, and Atlanta Sunday. So I don't know. We'll see. Number 3, Connecticut. They just haven't budged at all season, in my personal opinion. I feel bad. I wish they could have gotten here, moved up to the spot. I mean, they beat Phoenix and then lost New York. Painfully scored 58 points, which is the lowest as a Quincy unit they scored this season. For the number 3 seed. I mean, hey, look, the fact that they're a 3 seed with Jonquel Jones departing in free agency, I thought that the acquisitions of Rebecca Allen, Ty Harris, Dejanay Carrington, who should be in the conversation for 6th Player of the Year, Ty Harris, they've all stepped up well. Olivia Nelson-Odada, she's exceptionally stepped up in her role. And I really thought the loss of Bree Jones would have hurt them, but it has not. If anything, it's picked them back up. I still think Alyssa Thomas is in the MVP conversation. I'm curious to know what they're going to do with them as the season progresses. With these last 3 games, do you rest them, get ready for the playoffs? We'll see. And also, too, fun fact, Bree is off her boot, so it's good to see her making early progress. It's baby steps, little wins, little victories. So I'm happy for Bree Jones. Shout out to Bree Jones. Other than that, this is my team to get to the finals, and I'm sticking with that. And I'm putting a guarantee on that. The Connecticut Sun will be in the WNBA finals.
Guarantee.
I'm sorry. I just think they will. I think there's something that'll get them to the playoffs. The only thing that will hurt is the teams uh, numbers 2 and 1 in front of them, and then who they play and how they match up with as the playoffs progress. But this is my sleeper team to get to the finals, respectfully. So we do have a little chance to play some spoiler a little bit. So we'll see. That team in New York Liberty. What do you want me to say? They've been exceptionally well. They're at the moment 32-6. They get Phoenix. I'm sorry, not Phoenix. That's Las Vegas, excuse me. New York gets Dallas, LA, and Washington. Sunday, I apologize. They have been exceptionally well. They're 30-7. I said Las Vegas' record all wrong. I'm sorry about that. New York's been playing well. I still am not sold on them as a playoff team in terms of they got to finish. They got to play 40 minutes of complete basketball. Yes. Watching them Sunday and going on a 22-0 run against a team that is very confusing to watch at times. The Chicago Sky was great. But it's another when it's not consistent. Like, I watched them beat Connecticut in overtime, and it should not have taken them overtime to beat them. That's just my personal opinion. I'm just not sold on them come playoff time. Now, I know Sabrina Ionescu has dealt with some injuries. She's missed at least, I believe, 2 games with a calf injury. But most likely supposed to be in injury management. They've been playing well. So Brandon Stewart's in the MVP conversation, no doubt. We'll see what they're going to look like. And then number 1, Las Vegas. They have only 2 games left, and that's against Phoenix, both Sunday, excuse me. After beating us in Seattle, they've played 11 games in 23 days. They had off for 5 days. I remember seeing that schedule correctly. So you got to understand. I mean, we've played. I cannot believe we've gotten to 40 games, and we gave. And I'm gonna go there. We gave the New York Liberty some grace too. We understood that they had to go through the travel struggles. Everybody did. Same thing with Washington. I don't know where this notion came from of we downplayed New York. The only thing we said about New York was plain and simple. For 40 minutes of basketball, they are not a consistent team. They've got great players, but roles are not truly defined. That's what we've been saying. No one's downplayed of who's been traveling the most. Oh, X, Y, and Z. Everybody has started to feel it. I watched Vegas these last couple weeks. You can tell they're fatigued. They're tired. I mean, 3 games in 5 days, that is a lot. That's a lot of wear and tear. And on top of that, to make things interesting, most of all these teams would tell you they have not had a full practice. I mean, to ask your players to gear up, fly out to Washington, fly up to Seattle, fly down to Atlanta, fly over to Dallas, and still play basketball, that every other day, that is taxing on your body. So, I mean, with Vegas, look, I think they're going to remain the number 1 seed. Nothing will change with them. Asia Wilson, for me, I think it's going to have 16 games. We said a double-double. To me, it's MVP candidate. It's AT, Asia, and Brandon Stewart in no particular order. Those are my 3 MVP candidates. But yeah, there's nothing really much to say with them, and they'll be fine. Other than that, man, that's my Week 15 rankings. This week will mark the end of the regular season for the WNBA. We've reached 15 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot believe that 15 weeks. And with that being said, we're going to get into the final thought of Big Nate Sports Talk.
thoughts were running through my mind, so I took some time to find a minute or two to organize.
Final thought is this Friday I will be at the Entertainment Sports Arena covering the Washington Mystics as they take on the Atlanta Dream. I would just like to take this opportunity to thank the Washington Mystics for giving me the opportunity to cover some games this season. To be where we were about a year or so ago, I would not think this would be possible. I'd like to thank many people for their support and encouragement and pushing me to really pursue what this is. I think this season's giving me confirmation that all is possible, anything is possible, and it's not done without the man upstairs, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So I would like to thank him. My final thought is just follow your passion, follow your dream, makes you feel happy. I'm gonna get flamed for this, and I meant to put this on a tweet about a week or so ago when we played Las Vegas, Washington. Asia Wilson, I walked past Asia Wilson and Elena Deladon, and twice I froze up. That's bad, and I got cooked, and I should have got cooked for that. But I mean, respect. I mean, look, it's been fun. It's been it's been an interesting journey, and I'm enjoying it. I can't wait for the playoffs. I can't wait for next season. I have some big things in store for that. I also have some big things stored in for when we get to Maryland women's basketball. I'll still be covering them from MarylandSportsBlog.com. However, I'm sorry, I have to get on my soapbox. Some of the prices for food at the ESA is a little egregious. I'm just going to say that, but that's when you go to an arena or a stadium that you're going to be paying. You're going to get most of the experience. Yes. But yeah, I'm excited. Want to thank the Washington Mystics again for the opportunity. Hopefully, when we get to the playoffs, even though I'm not a fan of how they've done the seeding, the higher seed gets the first 2 games, and the lower seed gets 1 game. So, whenever that last game is, I will be requesting that and covering it. But until then, you will see a couple other episodes from me. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'm sorry. It's been a long, long day, and I'm tired. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hope you had a great weekend. September is here. Fall is almost in the air. Have a good night. Please like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, y'all.
But they don't know, they don't know, they don't know. Nobody knows but us how we roll, how we roll. Nobody knows what we got but us, but us. Let them keep talking, let them believe that they know, 'cause they don't know, they don't know, they don't. Let them believe that they know, 'cause they don't know, they don't know, they don't. Let them keep talking, they don't how we roll. Let them keep talking, they don't how we roll.
Thank you for tuning in to Big Nate Sports Talk. If you enjoyed that episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and share the next big thing, the next up-and-coming sports journalist, Big Nate Sports Talk. It's on all the time, anytime.
I want to thank you, yeah. I want to thank you. Ooh. For all the times you put up with me. Thank you. And you helped me retain my sanity. Thank you. I want to thank you. And I want to thank you. All I want to do is say thank you for everything